Welcome to the Comfortable in Chaos Podcast. Strangle your demons and let's go.
Y'all need Jesus!
Couldn't turn around till we were upside down. I'll be the bad guy now. Welcome to the Comfortable in Chaos Podcast. I am your host, Eric Hellberg, and you know we're like Einstein over here, men. We have no special talents. We're just passionately curious about all things pertaining to men. How in the hell did we get here, and where is it that we want to go in this chaos, men? And this one here is an equivocation, meaning part 2 of the original episode 2 days ago, maybe now, that war is good. And I had to digress because I'd watched a movie with my son. I had watched him get injured on the ball field. It got my mind thinking. Moreover, I'm creating a space in my life now, men, whereby I can better articulate my thoughts, espouse them with you so we can share, realize that we have commonality, and better serve this world and our loved ones around us. So let's go. War is good. No, I'm not asking you to make a determination. Is Israel and Hamas a good thing? Is Russia, Ukraine a good thing? And or the 100 other myriad of conflicts going on all over the globe? That's just one essence of war, is it not? All war is, if you heard the first episode, is noticing that change must occur in order to continue on a given path and or to lay under an undue influence. You've come to the realization that change is a must. Change is necessary, in many cases, simply to improve your life and also in some for your own survival. How will you affect that change? You did not get there overnight. It was a culmination of many things. Therefore, that proportionality that we dispensed with in the first episode, we used the example of the bully. Are you going to meet on the playground every day and each punch each other in the nose one time? Nope. You've got to punch, bite, kick, claw, knock the bastard in the head until you have peace. So there is no proportionality in war. We use the adage of 4 presidents. We started off taking the Taliban out of Afghanistan, only to 20 years later, give it back to the Taliban. Therefore, proportionality does not work. You will have to usurp the force that is affecting you and or holding you down with dominant force. If you want to call it willful mental violence, so be it. War is not proportional, and life is war. It is the catalyst. It is the identification of what we use in our minds to battle forward and to say, by God, we are going to change, whether it is in ourselves, or whether it is an organization, or whether it is society at large. That's right. Let's say you've become a fat ass for whatever reason. Maybe you've been lazy. Maybe you have undergone an inordinate amount of stress, which we now realize releases cortisol. Makes it very hard to get rid of belly fat, right? Well, that didn't happen overnight. You must now engage your activity drive with much more force than while you were sitting and or receiving that which puts you in that, what would we call it? Overweight conundrum. You have to go to war. You have found yourself in debt. You are now going to hit something in hyperdrive. And in order to no longer be the borrower is the slave to the master, you will have to go to war. And ultimately in life, war is made up of two parties. If there is no proportionality, that means there is no truce. There is no armistice. There is no demilitarized zone. I've been up at one of them. There are only two categories in war: winners and losers. And that is with everything in life. Get rid of all this pejorative bullshit and Pollyanna propaganda. It is diffusing your ability to go to war. War is waged every day in and of ourselves. I have so many people that believe in Christ that listen to this show. Lord willing, it will help some that do not become said believers and or to strengthen their current belief. This show is simply serving as a vehicle for me to do so as well. But if that is the case, and you want that to be your true essence, are you not going to war with this fucking world? We are in a world at war. To be different from this world and to survive it, to not go effing nutty, is to know that you have something bigger that you can rely on, and the short-term difficulty is going to produce a long-term gain. That is your reason for going on, and also affecting your loved ones around you for the good. Perhaps your other Pizos, your brothers, i.e. guys listening to this show. You go to war with your flesh every day. In the last episode called Moneyball, we talked about people solely dependent upon their wants and needs. They're no better than animals. Is that how you're going to live? Or are you going to have a purpose? If you are going to have a purpose, you are going to go to war because you are going to put down other things and you are going to do what is right at constant and inordinate difficulty for yourself. Everything is war. And here's what we're going to say here too. Warriors, if you are part of this warfare, will be winners, but they are also losers. You're like, what the fuck's he talking about now? Here's what I'm going to tell you. We are taught that a winner never gives up. That is so slightly true. That is bullshit. Let's take Nolan Ryan. He was a winner as a pitcher, right? He had achieved self-mastery on the mound. I think his pedigree and statistics denote that, and ask anyone who had to stand in that box and wait for one of those incoming pitches. You're telling me that Nolan Ryan didn't have to quit a lot of things in order to achieve mastery? Do you think that you can truly master anything in life, much less yourself, without quitting other undesirous things and or people? In order to achieve mastery, that objective requires your preeminent amount of focus. I don't care if it's a career. I don't care if it's a sport. I don't care if it's your spouse. I don't care if it is your children. There is no balance in mastery. And in fact, you may be at war with yourself now because you have attained mastery in another area. Therefore, there is an imbalance somewhere else that is causing problems. All right, do squats every other day for a fucking year. Never stretch out the back of your leg, the hamstring. Okay, once those 3 heads on the front are great, what happens when you bend over? You snap that brittle sucker. You cannot achieve mastery in anything unless you have quit other things. So winners are quitters. They have just made a defined decision as to what it is that they truly want to pursue. And so I am going to tell you, men, view war as a good thing and go to war where it is needed in your life. Dispense with the things that are hindering you, and if they need to be quit on for a period of time, then do so and reemerge. Maybe it takes 6 months, maybe it takes a year, but reemerge as the victor in your own war. Until next time on the Comfortable in Chaos podcast, I bid you boys bon voyage, my burgeoning flock.
Until next time, like and subscribe to the Comfortable in Chaos podcast.